Hey everyone, it's the Scott Man. We're live here in downtown Washington, D.C. As you can tell with the Washington Monument over there. Zoom in a little bit. It's actually a beautiful morning. It's in the low 70s here right now with very low humidity, which is unusual for July. And there's a pretty nice breeze, so it should be a very nice morning. There's actually a lot of things to see in Washington, D.C. to a point where you can almost spend a whole week here to check absolutely everything. So what I'll be doing in this video is actually going to be going over to like the National Mall area and check out some of the different memorials and stuff. And it shouldn't be very crowded with being a Sunday morning. All right, let's head on over. Right over there is the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Looks quite beautiful from afar, but let's actually head on over there. We have a pretty lovely view of the Washington Monument over from the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Speaking of that, the memorial is actually right in front of us. This is the memorial for Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States of America. Actually, a very important founder of this country, as he was the main writer of the Declaration of Independence, which, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago was the 4th of July, which is Independence Day here in the United States. And we have a airplane flying in over to Reagan National, which is on the other side of the Potomac River. So let's get a closer look up to the top. Yep, really cool. We got a very nice side view of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Got the main bridge going over to Arlington, Virginia, over there. And coming up here is the American Baseball Memorial. I'm just kidding about that one. As you can tell, the airplanes fly very close, as the airport is just right over there. And we're coming up to the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial right up here. This is definitely quite a beautiful memorial. FDR actually was the longest serving president of the United States, as he served 4 terms, although the 4th term was cut short, however, during the last year of World War II. He was also mainly famous for his New Deal reforms, which helped the country through the Great Depression. And right here is actually the First Lady during FDR's presidency, Eleanor Roosevelt. She's actually one of the most important First Ladies in American history. And here's a statue of FDR. Really cool. Alright, coming up next, we're actually going to head over to the Martin Luther King Jr Memorial, which is not too far down this way. Right in front of us is the Martin Luther King Jr Memorial. It's one of the most important people to come out during the National Civil Rights Movement. He helped pave the way to eventually getting rid of the segregation and the long story short, the better treatment of all people. all races, all colors. Alright, let's continue on. And we've made it here to the Korean War National Memorial, dedicated to the soldiers who died during the Korean War. Basically, the outcome of that war, it actually divided the Koreas into the North and the South, which they still remain divided today. But this helped pave the way into the 50s, as the 50s definitely featured Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Studebaker, television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. Although that song, We Didn't Start the Fire, didn't come out to the 80s by Billy Joel. Good song though. Alright, let's continue on. And we have made it to the Lincoln Memorial. It's a very beautiful building over here to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. He was the president during the American Civil War and helped pave the way, obviously, to end the war, but also to abolish slavery. Although that wasn't technically done till the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Yeah, great view of the Washington Monument over that way. After we visit the Lincoln Memorial, we're going to be going back toward there and get a closer look. Anyway, let's head up to the top. And here he is, Abraham Lincoln. Pretty cool. Got a very nice view of the reflecting pool from up here too. And actually, when I came here a couple of years ago for a quick visit, they actually were doing construction on the pool, so I couldn't really see it with water. But at least I can this time. Alright, let's continue. Back to the east. Not far from the Lincoln Memorial, we actually have the Vietnam Veterans Memorial right over there, and actually a little bit right over here too. Alright, let's head that way to the World War II Memorial. We have made it to the World War II Memorial. Oh, let's head on in. This is a pretty cool memorial. Actually, a very nice fountain right here, dedicated to all the fallen soldiers who lost their lives during the Second World War. As a matter of fact, my grandpa actually delivered mail with the Air Force during like the very end of World War II over in Europe. And unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago. And as a matter of fact, one of the last things he ever asked me was how my last trip to Washington, D.C. was, as I was here pretty much a few days before he passed, back a couple years ago. Alright, next stop, we're going to head over to the Washington Monument, which you guys see it right over here. And there's actually plaques for each state right along the perimeter here, going from Pennsylvania to Georgia, Massachusetts, South Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina, Vermont, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Missouri, Michigan, Texas, and going over to Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kansas, etc. Can probably name all 50, but I'll probably tire myself out. Alright, now let's head on. Right in front of us is the Washington Monument. It's actually was finished in 1884, and it's probably standing as the tallest structure here in Washington, D.C. Matter of fact, they actually reopened it a couple months ago as it was damaged during the earthquake during the summer of 2011.
I was surprised I remembered what it was.
And in fact, actually felt it all the way over in the Detroit, Michigan area that day. Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful day. And coming up next, we'll be really close to the monument. I'll show you a very white house. And let me tell you, it's very white. All the way over there is a very white house. So white, they call it the White House. Yeah, the zoom in the camera is really good. You can really see it really up close. It's almost like you're right in front of it. Yeah, that, as you can tell, that's where the President of the United States resides. And at the time of this video recording, be President Barack Obama, who's currently in the White House. Yeah, pretty cool. Right next to the monument. And right over there is the American History Museum. Huh. A lot of people over at the Natural History Museum. Looks like a tour group. Right over there is the Smithsonian Castle. And here we are. We're right in front of the U.S. Capitol building, right here over on Capitol Hill. That is where the United States Congress presides, where they basically talk about bills and argue about bills. But yeah, we're pretty far away from the Washington Monument. You can see all the way over there. You can even see a tiny bit of the top of the Lincoln Memorial even further away. Yeah, really cool though. All right, let's continue our next point of interest. Right in front of us is Union Station. This is one of the huge train stations in Washington, D.C. as it connects the Metro Rail to go around the city and also to some of the outlying areas, and also connects to some of the bigger trains such as Amtrak and also the MARC train, which is the train that goes into Maryland up toward BWI Airport and also in the downtown Baltimore. Actually, when I was on a business trip here back in December, I took the MARC from BWI down here. Actually, somewhere over in that general direction is the Phoenix Park Hotel. Actually, I think that's it over there. Stayed over there. So it was a pretty nice hotel. Man, I'm actually a little tired right now because I've actually been walking all the way from like the Lincoln Memorial area. Yeah, you can actually see the Capitol building over there. Alright, well, I'm actually going to get ready to hop on the train to go back to Virginia, where my car is parked, and then head into Maryland. Probably stop over at National Harbor, which is right on the Potomac River, and then head up to the Baltimore area. Well, this concludes today's video here at Washington, D.C., and this is the Scott Man signing out.